Popular peer-to-peer car rental apps are being used for crime. It's a concerning trend the N4 Tucson investigators first exposed back in August. Now, Customs and Border Protection admits it's a growing problem. Of course, Nylander has more on how it works in tonight's N4 Tucson investigation.
Apps like Turo are a convenient way for people to put their own car on the rental marketplace and make some extra cash. But what several users have found is there's an inherent risk when you hand over your keys to a stranger. For 3 months, Tom Beaver went without his car after deciding to put it up for rent on the app Turo.
Here it was one day, made 40 bucks on it, and now I don't have a car. I'm still had to pay car payments, still had to pay car insurance without even a vehicle.
Beaver spoke with the N4 Tucson investigators in August after the man he rented the car to in June was arrested near the U.S.-Mexico border for human smuggling in Beaver's car. His car seized by Border Patrol. He spoke to us again once he finally got his car back in September.
There was some exterior damage to the car, scratches on the paint, and then all the tires were kind of worn.
Beaver says Turo paid for several of the related fees, but he believes the app needs to have more security for its users. He was told Turo conducted a background check before handing over the keys, but he found out later the man he rented to had a criminal record for armed robbery, which took the N4 Tucson investigators a simple online search to confirm.
I thought Turo was doing the background check on these people, but apparently they aren't, or they aren't doing it well.
Turo tells the N4 Tucson investigators trust and safety issues are rare on the platform, and it believes it offers a best-in-class team and process to protect its users. On a Facebook group for owners of Turo vehicles in the Phoenix area, we have seen more than a dozen people say their vehicles were used for crimes, like Jorge Silva.
I got a call from Tucson Police Department, and they told me that there was a crime, and she was murdered inside the car.
Silva operates a fleet of 10 cars across multiple apps. He says within the past year, he's had about 10 times where his cars were involved in crimes, most on Turo. He says one woman who rented his car was murdered. He's had a car involved in a police chase, a robbery, a car seized by Border Patrol for human smuggling, and has found drugs inside his cars.
To protect myself now, and it's working for me, I only rent for 3 days and over, because I noticed whenever there was a crime, they would only rent it for 1 day.
The prevalence of it has increased.
Robert Bushell is a special operations supervisor with U.S. Border Patrol. He says they've been seeing more peer-to-peer rental cars used for smuggling at the border the past 2 years.
They were a rarity back then, and now they're not nearly as rare.
He says it takes more investigative work to clear a vehicle rented through peer-to-peer apps versus a traditional rental car because the car's registration won't trace back to a company.
We need answers from Turo. Consumers have got to do this in a smart way.
Frank Figliuzzi is a retired assistant director for the FBI. He warns anyone who rents out their car to make sure you have no personal information stored in the vehicle, but he believes the risk may not be worth the reward.
The renter's giving up phone number, his or her phone number, maybe his or her photo, his identity, his vehicle. The bad guy has all kinds of arm's length plausible deniability. Not my car.
We have Turo's full statement over on our website at KVOA.com. I asked them to explain exactly how their background check system works. They have yet to answer that question. Investigating for you, Corus Nylander, N4 Tucson.
If you have a story you'd like us to investigate, email us at investigators@kvoa.com or call our tip line at 520-955-4444.